Masking sound apps can help with tinnitus, but music can do something they can't. As a sound engineer who also studies the psychology of music, there are 3 types of music that work. And I'm going to talk about that today and why they work. My name is Per Moneo. I'm a sound engineer, composer, musician and sound artist. And together with Irene Moneo, we run this channel, Navigate Tinnitus, where we talk about everything having to do with tinnitus and hearing loss from our point of view as music creators. Tinnitus sound masking apps can be really helpful to get relief from tinnitus. But sometimes we need something more interesting and uplifting than white noise or ocean waves. That's when music is our best choice. But which music works for tinnitus? We are going to cover 3 types of music that is a great start in your journey finding the ultimate tinnitus music for your personal taste. Number 1. Slow and calming music activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest state. When the body shifts out of fight or flight and starts prioritizing recovery, calm and balance. It's the part of your nervous system that tells your body, you're safe right now. No need to scan for danger. When the parasympathetic system is more active, your stress response turns down. Your breathing often gets slower. Your muscles soften, your heart rate tends to settle, and your brain becomes less reactive. And that matters a lot with tinnitus, because tinnitus gets louder and more intrusive when our brain labels it as important or threatening. Calm, slow music helps send the opposite message. It reduces stress hormones, reduces tension, and makes the sound feel less urgent. Over time, that helps your brain put tinnitus back into the background, where it belongs. The reason is because your brain and body naturally sync to steady rhythms and gentle patterns. When the tempo is slow, the dynamics are soft, and there are no sudden surprises, your nervous system starts to match it. It's basically like giving your brain a calm environment to copy. So, what to listen for? Choose music that feels safe and predictable. Think slow tempo, smooth sounds, stable volume, and no sharp attacks. Instrumental music often works best at first because lyrics can pull your attention into the thinking brain. Number 2. Sound bath. Sound baths are in the same world as yoga and meditation. But instead of using slow movements or guided relaxation, a sound bath uses sound, frequencies and steady vibrations to help your nervous system settle, to shift your attention and bring your body into a calmer state. The purpose is to create a soft, immersive sound environment that feels safe and predictable, so your brain can stop treating sound as a threat. For many people, that can reduce stress in the moment and make tinnitus feel less intrusive, because your body is no longer stuck in high alert. Sound baths often use long sustained sounds with gentle changes, like singing bowls, gongs, drones, chime or warm ambient layers. There are usually no sudden hits, no fast rhythms and no sharp edges, which is exactly why they can feel so calming and perfect as a complement to traditional sound masking. Your breathing naturally slows down. Your muscles loosen and your attention has something soothing to rest on. You find many sound baths on YouTube, but they are supposed to be experienced live, where you hear all instruments acoustically. That is when you truly get a sensation out of sound baths. Explore what kind of instruments you prefer. Maybe it's crystal singing bowls, gong-gongs, bells, electronic binaural beats. There are so many genres within the term sound bath, so you can really find a sound that suits your personal taste. Sound bath at YouTube can be good if you don't find any live sessions in your area, or if you want to have the sounds ready to use whenever you need them. And if you want, check out the link to our Moneo Soundbath channel here on YouTube, down below. 3. Music that you like. Yeah, this might sound like way too simple of a tip, but hear me out. Music that you genuinely like connects with you on a deeper level than just sound. It taps straight into emotion. And emotions are powerful because they tend to set off a chain reaction. Emotion influences thought. Thought influences behavior. And behavior influences what kind of a day you end up having. So if tinnitus has pulled you into a negative loop, it often starts with an emotion like stress, frustration, fear, sadness. That emotion then triggers a thought like, "This is going to ruin my day." And that thought leads to a certain behavior. You tense up, you start scanning for problems, you shake your tinnitus, you try to control it. And that behavior feeds the loop that starts spinning even stronger this time, making tinnitus feel even more important to your brain. Music that you like can interrupt that chain. When you put on a track you love, it can spark a different emotional state, like comfort, hope, confidence, energy, nostalgia, and even a sense of being yourself again. And when the emotion shifts, your thoughts often shifts too. You stop predicting disaster. You stop monitoring the sound as much. You become more present and your behavior changes. You move, you breathe, you do something, you re-engage with life. That doesn't mean tinnitus disappears, but it can become less central, less urgent, and less dangerous in your nervous system. The key here is to choose music with a sound and instruments that works with your tinnitus and your hearing situation. Some instruments might sound too harsh or sharp, so you may need to start with softer ones. For me, distorted guitars and synthesizers, they triggered my tinnitus, so I could not choose Van Halen or Rammstein, for example, even though they would normally be among my favorites. In the beginning, I had to choose music with softer sounds. In my case, that meant Steve Reich, Dire Straits, or even our own Moneo Color album, which has a softer instrumentation. I put a link below. For me, it's crucial to listen on a sound system with good sound quality, or a pair of really great headphones. Otherwise, it can immediately lead to a tinnitus spike. And do not try to drown out the sound of tinnitus. Keep the volume of the music low, even though I know that it can be difficult. When we put on music we really love, we naturally want to turn it up. But that is something we simply have to relearn not to do. These are the 3 tips that can be a good start exploring the use of music as an alternative to static masking sounds, which fill different purposes for different situations. And don't forget to have fun! Music and sound exploration should be something that makes us curious and creative, even if the purpose is to find relief from something like tinnitus. If you want to see more examples of great music for tinnitus relief from me, Irene, as well as other people, head over to the Navigate Tinnitus community, where we started a thread on the topic. The Navigate Tinnitus community is totally free of charge to join, and I would be so happy to see you inside. See you there.